Okay, so let's finish this up. When the boy was exposed to the smallpox disease after receiving that cowpox vaccine, or the actual cowpox disease that affected just cows, he was able to resist the disease. So this was the first evidence to show where vaccines were used and how they can be effective. Like I mentioned, the vaccines are preventative. Okay, uh, they cannot help once you're infected. So once you get the flu, or once you get um, Ebola, or once you get polio, you can't. Once you get um, hepatitis B, once you get any of those common diseases, especially the ones that are viral that I showed you in the first part of these notes, you can't take a vaccine. It's not going to help. Your body has to naturally try to fight it off. Now you can treat the symptoms. And you remember when Ebola hit the news a couple months ago, what they were doing with those Ebola patients is they were treating the symptoms, dehydration, fatigue, other things like that. They were treating the symptoms, giving medication, rest, hydration, that type of thing for the symptoms. But they weren't actually using vaccines to help fight the disease because they can't. Vaccines only work as a preventative. Okay? Antibiotics are not going to affect viruses whatsoever. Okay, so if you get a cold and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, let me prescribe you some antibiotics, they're full of it because it's not going to work. But antibiotics only work against um, bacteria. Okay, that's why the word is called antibiotic, because it's going to fight against a living organism, the biology, the living organism. So, but antibiotics do not function whatsoever against vaccines. But as I mentioned, like here at the end of this part, you can treat symptoms. You can put together a bunch of combinations of drugs. They're called cocktails, and they can help, but they don't fight the virus. Okay. All right. Um, some more with emerging diseases. Things called prions. These are infectious proteins caused by a problem with the folding of a protein sheet, the actual building of a protein sheet. Mad cow disease comes from this. Um, a disease called Scrapie. The Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, Alzheimer's disease. These are all examples of diseases caused by prions. These um, proteins that don't fold correctly, they can become infectious as a result of that. Uh, Viroids, okay, they infect plants exclusively, and what viroids do is they're parts of genetic material, whether it be DNA or RNA, and they can actually impact plant development, growth, that type of thing.